LeBron has notified the Lakers that he will play elsewhere next season. Wilbon, where do you want to start?
LeBron's always the biggest news. And if LeBron goes, as some of us expect, and I certainly want to see him go to Golden State. You know, I've been beating this drum for a couple of weeks now to join Draymond, Steph, Jimmy Butler, perhaps, Peyton, Podzimski, Horford, Porzingis. Tony, that's a squad. I know they're older and they might not be able to stay healthy for forever. But if that group, that's 10 guys in there. If they got to April healthy, first of all, it's historically entertaining. And I don't care about him going to Cleveland. I guess that could still happen. But LeBron's a California guy now. He's playing golf like 36 a day. His family lives in California. Stay in California. It's a short flight up to San Francisco from L.A. I'm dying to see this.
Did you say that LeBron is now playing 36 a day? Is that for real?
It seems like that, yeah.
A day? So that he wants to be Jordan more than people understand, because Jordan plays 36 a day, as we both know. What we know about LeBron James is that he has told the Lakers he's not going to be there, but we don't know where he's going to be.
That's right.
I understand that you want him where you want him in Golden State. There's a certain nostalgia to that, I'm sure. There's a certain nostalgia, for example, if he went to Cleveland, Act 3 with Cleveland, which is his hometown. LeBron James is still a great player, but he's no longer a transformative player. So he has to go someplace where he's going to fit in, and I'm going to assume, and I know you will agree with me, that he wants to win a championship. So he's not going to sign on for a rebuild like Dallas or some team like that.
Can't see.
Let's deal with some lies. Let's deal with some lies. Gotta check my phone for a quick update to make sure I'm speaking factual. Get this music together. I think I'm gonna be doing a video today. It's crazy. Brian got me out here working. I don't want to call it work. I love it. I love it. Appreciate y'all. Welcome to Kush Equilibrium. I am your always smoking host. Oops, great. Ooh, news-filled day, ain't it? News-filled day. Brian on the move. Is that worth the bell? Is that worth the bell? I think it's worth the bell. LeBron on the move. That's worth the bell. That's worth the bell. Appreciate y'all showing up. Normally while we talk about this hip hop thing, but this ain't no hip hop. It's hip hop adjacent. I'm gonna tie some stuff together. This is gonna be deep. It's gonna be good. What I'm gonna say here, I guarantee you will not find what I say here anywhere else. Anywhere else. Because ain't nobody, look, talk about LeBron and all the things intertwined with LeBron. For one, gotta be an Ohio kid. Gotta be an Ohio kid. You gotta been at some point in time, put boots on soil. You ain't did that, probably can't talk about it. Ain't gonna waste your time. You see at the bottom of the screen, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. It's for the free ski. Help me take care of YouTube pulleys. Just like when you at home, you got a vibe going, you don't want them on your door. Same thing here. I don't need YouTube asking no questions. What we talking about, what we drinking, and or possibly smoking. You know, keep YouTube up. Think of job and family services. You know how they be in your business all the time for people who, you know, live that life. YouTube is like the job and family services of the, you know, creator community. Like, what you got going on? Anywho, now, let's talk about this. I got a couple of clips lined up. I like to use clips because it helps me line up my thoughts as we go. So without further ado, I'm gonna pull this music down a little bit more. Let's get to the business.
Being the best player, being the face of the league, that is what comes with that. But as you can see,
shout out to Jemele Hill. someone who I will always say, forever say, should have never been removed, let go, whatever phrasing you choose to use. She should have never been away from ESPN. Her and a couple others would have stuck around. I probably would. Me and many others would have stuck around to continue to watch ESPN instead of just getting our sports news elsewhere. But I'm subscribed to her channel. You should definitely check it out. Subscribe to it. I think you'll like it. She had interesting viewpoints of this whole LeBron James thing, and I just want to tackle a couple of her little bullet points or whatever, and then we're gonna get to the Drake of it all, because there's an angle to this. There's an angle. There's multiple angles. We're gonna try to deal with as many as we can. Let's go.
Whenever it was time for him to leave, it was usually some of the same elements that we see in this departure that's happening now with the Lakers. In Cleveland, when he decided to leave, it was because he didn't feel like the team was building well enough around him. And that was true because of...
True. She's factual about that. The Mo Williams and Boobie Gibson and Zadrunas Ilgastis, and these were fan favorites. As fans, we love these guys. But we love them so much to where we may have, to where we actually did overvalue or overhype how good these players were. Let me be clear. Oh, let's not forget Delonte West. Brian, you know Delonte West. LeBron knows Delonte West well. Delonte knows LeBron and his mom. Anywho, let's keep going. All of these players, we love them. We love their story. We love their makeup. But they didn't have enough to where LeBron will be able to do less and not be so burnt up towards the end of the season or in the middle or towards the end of a playoff run. But so far we on facts.
Fact is, during that time, and that's that stage in LeBron's career, it was really hard to convince free agents to come to the Cleveland Cavaliers, stay in Cleveland, be in Cleveland. And although LeBron was a great player, he wasn't a great enough player to where they were willing to do that.
First falsehood right here. And this plays into why so many Cleveland fans back then, because I want to make sure we got to do everything in order so it all makes sense. So many of us as Cleveland fans had an issue with the fact of LeBron this entire time he was in Cleveland did not do as much as a lot of other superstars did to try to recruit players to come to Cleveland. I don't think he did half of what people think he really did. There's stories. You can go look them up yourself, do your Googles. LeBron did not promote Cleveland as much as you think somebody who grew up in the area would have. So much so. Think about when he left. He made that clear differentiation between Akron and Cleveland. You do realize Akron gets Cleveland channels and everything Akron receives is Cleveland based. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go.
Particularly when this is at the time where everybody was thinking big market, got to be in LA, got to be in New York, got to be in Miami. Like,
also keep in mind, the whole idea of the Heatles came to be during the Olympics while he was still on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I seriously doubt he put any push to Chris Bosh or Dwayne Wade or any other great player. Hey, I could sell you on Cleveland. How you not be able to sell your own hometown? Miss me with the Akron Cleveland shit. We're not about to do that. We're not about to play into that. He didn't want to. I think at that point, he was that kid that was he was the bird ready to leave the nest. Miss me with I had to learn to win, which there's some truth to that, but nah. He had enough greatness to figure it the fuck out. He was ready to go. He was ready to leave the nest. He should have just said that. He should have just said that instead of trying to sell us bullshit. But let's keep going because we got to get to the rest of it.
The city mattered. I don't think that's the case as much now. So he left because it's not going to happen here. They're not building right. I got to go somewhere else to win. He goes to Miami. Miami runs a much different program than what was run in Cleveland. Pat Riley is like, hey, this is the new program. He runs a strict one. All the homies, your team getting all these perks, you getting all these perks. That's not happening anymore. We're doing this my way. Disciplined organization. It's a reason why they talk about heat culture the way that they do.
Funny story. I tried to find the clip, but I wanted to get the video out at a reasonable time. I didn't want this to be a late night episode. But there's a player from the Heat that gave out a story about a team flight. Something happened, whatever. I don't know if it's after a game they lost or whatever the case may be, or towards the end of the season. Something happened, whatever. The team flight. LeBron has cookies on the plane. Cookies that he bought for himself. You know, we all got our little treats we like to have ourselves. What y'all don't see is on the corner of this desk is a bag of delectables sitting right here for a fat guy like me with Snickers and M&Ms and all this other stuff because, you know, I'm a fat guy. So we all got our vices. Ron Vice, apparently, it's cookies. I wonder if they were chocolate chip cookies. Maybe they're chocolate chip cookies, whatever. He has these cookies. And Pat Riley goes and throws the cookies away, and LeBron gets on the plane, looking and ready to relax, on his milk and cookies. Cookies gone. He can't have no. He got told as a grown man he can't have no goddamn milk cookies. As a grown man, he got told can't have no goddamn milky cookies. Got to picture me being Bernie Mac saying no milky cookies. Allegedly, according to that player, that was the defining moment in his mind. Yep, Brian up out of here. You can't talk to that man like that. Now about some cookies he bought. Man wanted his goddamn milk and cookies. Let's go.
You had D Wade, who was already there, already an NBA champion. You have an OG who's won, still a great player in his own right. And that's where LeBron sort of started to figure it out. That's when he came into the height of his
LeBron was calling
superpower
D Wade OG is crazy because they not too far
They have a
in
very
age. That's
successful
crazy.
run, going to 4 finals, I think it was. He's league MVP, all the things come to LeBron James there. But LeBron not feeling appreciated. He's like, I won enough. I won a lot. I need some perks. I need to feel this love. I need to feel appreciated. And y'all treat me like I'm just some dude sometimes. Like, nah, I need the perks. I need to be glazed. I need all of these things.
Pause. Let's say pause for. Pause. I'm hoping LeBron never had a conversation as a man. Hey, I need to be glazed. Picture as a man, you look at your woman, baby, you can't glaze. I need you to glaze me more. What? What?
Who raised you?
These terminology is crazy, boy.
Back to his childhood sweetheart, and that would be the Cleveland Cavaliers, so to speak. And the Cavaliers are just like, yes, we love you, LeBron. We will do anything for you. And they do. They wound up winning the title. He does something. I think part of the allure going back to Cleveland was the possibility of bringing a championship to a championship-starved city, for being one of few NBA players who can win NBA titles with multiple franchises, and then the manner in which he does it.
That title is the greatest title ever won. How many NBA champions have been crowned? I don't know. That championship is singularly the greatest championship ever won. Not only because it was for a championship-starved city as in Cleveland, Cavaliers had never won a championship up to that point. All those years of the Bulls being in the way and Pistons and anywho, I don't want to think of bad memories. But down 3-1. Down 3-1. We talk about a championship so improbable that it's more likely people would say, think about this. This is how people framed that championship in the beginning. It was the Warriors choked the championship away, not the Cavs won the championship over the Warriors. It was the Warriors choked it away. Let's not get revisionist history here. Okay? That is singularly the greatest championship ever. So nothing LeBron was ever going to do, let's be clear, was going to eclipse that in any way, shape, form, or measure. Let's proceed.
Where he beats a literal super team, a team that had won the most NBA regular season games, and the Golden State Warriors, the fashion in which he does it. If you didn't already think LeBron was a legend, that was some legendary shit that he did in Cleveland by doing that. Then after that, it's like, okay, Cleveland, we've kind of been there and done that, right? Now I think it's about not just cementing more of LeBron's legacy, but I think LeBron needed the love of the bright lights in the big city. So the bright lights in the big city take him to Los Angeles. Legacy franchise, one of the top 5 franchises in all of pro sports. At that point, they won the most NBA championships. There is a different kind of legacy when it comes to being a Laker. This is a uniform that has been worn by Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Shaq, Kobe, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the greatest of greats. And LeBron considered himself to be in that same conversation of greatest of greats. So LA made a lot of sense. And plus, LA was the...
Tell you how I look at the Laker era of the LeBron thing. Remember, this is when Drake was heavy. This is when LeBron was heavy into the Drake rotation. You know, Drake was really in his rotation like that. I feel like, hindsight being 2020 and whatnot, if you think about it, LeBron going to the Lakers is kind of like how Drake goes places, soaks up the culture and uses it to his advantage, and then say, I'm the best thing from here. Or I did the most for this area. I never understood what LeBron was going to ever gain from going to the Lakers. With all those greats that wore that uniform. And you know what? Let's just focus on the last one they had. Kobe fucking Bryant. Mamba himself. Guy I consider to be the greatest Laker ever because I was around the scene. From beginning to end. I never saw a way for him to ever eclipse that. He was never, ever going to eclipse that. He couldn't even get himself in a position to equal it. What made it that made it easier for me to kind of buy into the off-court reasonings for why he went to the Lakers. Bright lights. We heard LeBron wanted to really get into movies and films and all this other stuff. And he wanted to grow the number of baskets that he was putting money in. Got it. He gave us a championship. Wasn't tripping. Bet. Hindsight being 2020. I remember any spectacular movies or films that justify LeBron being directly in Hollywood areas. I don't. Space Jam wasn't it. He did a couple cameos in a couple movies. I don't think that required leaving Cleveland again. Only one championship on the court that's in the bubble, but you know, we'll take it for what it is. A championship is a chip. At this point, looking at the LA era of LeBron James' career right now, can you definitively say it was worth the journey? Was it worth the journey of leaving Cleveland Because think about it, if he don't leave, maybe the Kyrie stuff doesn't happen. Dan Gilbert is an owner that's willing to dump money into winning if he can. If it's justifiable, I think Dan Gilbert would have stayed spending until they started with these aprons. I think once the apron era started, that's when Dan Gilbert probably would have been more on some, okay, we got to adjust to the new way of doing things. But you let me know, was it justified? At the end of the day, after it's done in a Laker uniform, so far, was it? Can you say, I see why you did it? That was definitely worth it. I can't. He didn't add to his legacy at all. All the points he scored and assists and all that the stat stuff could have happened no matter where he was at. He was still playing, minus the stat records and everything else, because he would have got that anywhere. Was it worthwhile? Was it worthwhile? Let me know.
Natural place where LeBron could develop all of his other interests, mostly in media and entertainment. That all happens in Los Angeles. And I remember the first month or so that he was in Los Angeles as a member of the Lakers, he's having dinner with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, because that's what LA offers. There's a difference between being a star somewhere else and being a star in LA. And
how many big movies was he in with Robert De Niro? Leonardo DiCaprio. Where's the big budget film? That rubbing of shoulders can happen anytime. I'm saying, do you mean to tell me every person on TV, every person in a movie, every person considered an A-lister solely resides in California? I don't think that to be the case. So this, the assumptions that the way they tried to spin it, to where to be a part of this world, this glitz and glam world of the movies and entertainment and whatnot, the only way you can really be a part of it is to be out west, specifically in LA. You tell me if I'm tripping. The top comedian on this here planet Earth is Dave Chappelle. He lives in some poop butt little town in the state of Ohio. Doesn't seem to stop him from Dubai and selling out shows at all these arenas. And the most sought after opinion when something happens within Black culture is Dave Chappelle. Anything that affects Black culture, Dave Chappelle's the first opinion everybody's after. He's that big of an entity. Resides in Ohio. Ohio. Tell me how that works. He's not from Ohio, let's be clear. I think he's from DC. Although I always thought Dave Chappelle was from New York for a long time. He had such a love for New York. I don't know. But let's get to it.
Especially an A-list star in LA. And LeBron was all of that. He's rubbing elbows with a different type of crowd now and is considered to be their peer, if not above them in some cases. He is in that air in Hollywood of a Tom Cruise, of a Will Smith, of the brightest of the bright stars. That is where
we take stuff too far. In the entertainment world, what has he done that could... Got it. I feel some type of way about Will Smith ever since the slap. Ever since he slapped Chris Rock, I felt like that was a soft-ass move against a soft-ass target. But I'm getting myself riled up. Excuse me. I apologize. Ever since that moment, I've always felt some type of whatever about Will Smith. Even still. It's one of the greatest actors of all time. All time. All time. To even put him from an entertainment perspective with the ilks or elks, was it elks or ilks? Ilks? With the entities such as a Will Smith or a Leonardo DiCaprio, although obviously white guy, not black guy, is crazy. It's unjustifiable by any means. In any means. Now, if you're doing it in comparisons to Will Smith's greatness as an actor and LeBron James' greatness as an athlete, cool. Still kind of an apples to oranges scenario, but at least you're talking greatness to greatness. But when you're taking somebody out of what makes them great and putting them in another world where they have not shown to be great yet, maybe that's next. Once he finally hangs up the Nikes or whatever the fuck, maybe then he goes down that path with the same vigor that he went after being a great athlete, and we get to see, this perceived entertainment great that y'all want to label LeBron to be. But let's get back to it.
And so, obviously, the Lakers have been there and done that many, many times when it comes to winning championships. And as I said, they always get a star. And so, certainly, when you get somebody like LeBron, of course, they did everything they could to build around him or did what was within reach to build around him. They win a title. And y'all can sit up there and continue to debate whether or not the title was meaningful or not because it was in the bubble. Title's a title. In the history books, it will be a title, right? So, yes, it still counts. And so, the thing is about the Lakers, they used to be in the baddie. They are the baddie of the NBA. Glitz, glam, all that thing. They've never not been able to get them a big one. And at some point...
I don't know. Didn't the Lakers have like a little lull where it's like, wasn't nothing cracking? Like they were still the Lakers. I'm not trying to trip. They were still the Lakers, but they wasn't like the Lakers. Like they was the Lakers, but they wasn't like Showtime. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't, I don't know, like they didn't have the glow, so to speak. I mean, they got it back because it wasn't, it was never going to be down long. But there was a time frame. It was like, nobody really thinking about the Lakers. And that's not forget, there was a moment where people was debating whose time was it because the Clippers had their little renaissance or whatever. So it was a little bit of a back and forth like, hey, can LA be a Clippers town? That was a real thing. Let's not, again, have revisionist history. We start changing shit. There was a moment, a 2 to 3 year window where we're like, yo, I was kind of tired of looking at all that damn purple and gold. Red, white, and blue. Yeah. Bob City. Let my man up there. CP he's still in his prime. Court General. Let's not pretend. Let's get to it.
They had to start thinking about what's the next step? Who's the next superstar? Because LeBron was aging gracefully, aging better than anybody has in NBA history, still a top player. But the fact is, there's only so long that you can be committed to building around a 41-year-old or a player that is getting older. And so they found their new star in Luka Doncic. And they have to shift the priorities of the organization. And LeBron is thinking, hey, I'm still a big deal in my own right. But I think that this move is not just about him maybe not feeling as appreciated, because there were certainly some reports that came out throughout the year that suggested that is somewhat behind this. I think it was more than that. I think LeBron is thinking about an overall quality of life that he wants to lead as he says his goodbye to basketball. And that would include playing with the homies in Golden State. Draymond's one of his closest friends. Steph is one of his closest friends. There's rumors that Anthony Davis may somehow fit into the picture here. But he wanted to make one last run and make one last run with his closest friends and do it in a state he loves to live in. I never bought this idea that LeBron was ever going to consider going back to Cleveland. Never bought the idea. And the reason why I didn't is because, and this is no disrespect to anybody from Cleveland,
This is Jemele Hill's ESPN show. And I'm disappointed that she did this. That's a Detroit girl doing through. She, come on. 90% of the time, her Detroit shine. Like, and she puts it away in a way that, you know what I'm saying? She not fake or phony to the city, and handles her business when she on these talk shows and doing these debates, and she be on them. She be on them. Ain't nothing like going to somebody else's show or whatnot and showing them up, and she be doing it more often than not. So I rock with Jemele Hill. I heard her say this. I played it back a couple of times. I'm like, but Detroit motherfucker show shade to Cleveland. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. There's not this brotherhood kinship with Detroit and Cleveland. Like, trust me. I'm in Detroit all the time. All the time. If I'm not in Detroit a couple times a week, I'm almost lost a leg or the car and lost an axle or something. Like, damn. We'll talk about it. Let's come on.
I'm from Detroit, so there's a kinship that's there. I don't think LeBron wants.
There's not. It took a minute for Detroit cats to rock with me because I used to do stuff like, I still do for the most part, but now they just look at me and we bag on each other now. But I'll pop up with a Browns jersey on, repping the 216 faithfully. And not in Detroit. They let you on, like, it's not even being dicks about it. It's a pride in their city. That's what it took me to learn. They carry their city a certain way. This is Detroit, the good and the bad. They good with it. They're not apologizing for it. They're not gonna be embarrassed about it. This is where we from. This is what it is. We're not hoping for better. We gonna deal with what we got with. I appreciate Detroit for that. But so to see her do this, man, hurt my heart a little bit. But par for the course.
To spend 6-7 months out of the year living in Cleveland. My guess is, I have no inside information to back this up. My guess is that probably Savannah and the kids wasn't coming as well. As it is, Bronny's a grown man. He's playing for the Lakers. Contract, by the way, became fully guaranteed as of today. Or was it yesterday? Either way, he's fully guaranteed. He'll be on the Lakers, presumably. So that's taken care of. We know that his other son, Bryce, in college. They got the youngest. She's there in school. There was no way they were going to uproot her, have her going on to live in Cleveland or a place that was further, as far away.
I gotta put the bell on that. This is gonna be the hardest part in this video for me to talk about because I don't be wanting to play with other people's family. But if we're gonna be honest, we gotta be honest. So I'm gonna let this little couple of seconds tick off. We're gonna get to the other clip where I could talk about this Savannah part. Ooh, shoot.
Golden State makes all the sense in the world. Not only because of the personal relationships, you also have Steve Kerr. You also have an organization that has won. That structure matters. And on top of that, the proximity to Los Angeles. Draymond Green lives in Los Angeles. It's an hour flight. Los Angeles to the Bay Area. On the PJ, nothing. You're LeBron, you got a lot of money. You can take the PJ back and forth as you wish.
I want to have a slight rebuttal or whatever to the PJ private jet as a reason for why Golden State is the perfect fit versus Cleveland, this anti-Cleveland thing that the main media is playing is crazy, and the local media too scared of having egg on their face, so they won't speak their truth. They like, okay, let me frame it to where I expect him to go somewhere else, but I'm okay if he comes this way. That's whack. That's whack. That's a lack of conviction in your words and how you feel or what you think or whatever the case may be. This PJ, this private jet, right? Y'all do know Cleveland has an airport. So considered a good size hub for as far as U.S. air flight travel. So much so that they're, it's quite a few million invested in redoing that entire airport across the street from the new site of the soon-to-be First Energy Stadium. It was the First Energy Field? No, Huntington Bank Field. I think it's Huntington Bank Field now for the Cleveland Browns, right? So it's money getting dumped into the area heavy. Jimmy Haslam, we see his plane coming and going all the time on his PJ. You can just link up with him. That's the crowd you want to kick it with anyway, right? Find out where he put his PJ at. So I don't feel like the PJ thing is convenient for to get back and forth to the Bay Area or wherever their arena is. Wherever their arena is. Anything you got to do in LA, business related, I feel like you should be able to go ahead, catch you a little flight from Cleveland to wherever you got to go. But no problem. My bad, y'all. I'm fixing my light drops. A light drop, boy. Again, that's the beauty of having a private jet. It's supposed to get you to wherever you want to go to relatively immediate. Relatively immediate. Look, everything's, all my stuff is changing on me, everything. I'll be going through it. Hold on, let me get my shit together. There we go. Now, part y'all really here for. We're going to talk about another part. The Savannah part. I keep hearing that name. Savannah. Heard it on the, if LeBron would come back. Heard it on the, if LeBron was, Savannah. Again, I don't like this because that's that man woman. Let's get to it.
Being the best player, being the face of the league, that is what comes with
to
that.
enough in Canada. I've talked to enough people. Maybe Drake will keep teasing it. Let me just tell you what I've heard. Yo, LeBron.
Y'all remember this? We're going to rewind. Y'all don't remember this? After the beef, when the battle was won, all the vitriol that came from the other side after the pop out. I think this is the time frame, like literally after the pop out. So the Grammys hadn't happened yet. The Super Bowl hadn't happened yet with Kendrick. This is pop out. Let's check it out. I want y'all to know because I want to be factual when I be saying my stuff. Let's get to it.
To enough in Canada. I've talked to enough people. Maybe Drake will keep teasing it. Let me just tell you what I've heard. Yo, LeBron, you and Drake used to go on two mans, okay? You've been cheating on your goddamn wife. Drake used to facilitate the whole and basically you can't dance to a song about him being a pedophile. He used to supply you with the bitch. I'm sorry, my yes, if I'm Drake, I snitch on you too. Sorry, buddy. You can't do that. No. You've been living a lie, and everybody been thinking you're this perfect guy. When you come to Canada, you know you come to certain places. I'm supplying you with the white women you love. You don't even like black chicks. White women.
I'm supplying you with the white women you love. I remember that. I'm supplying you with white women you love. Savannah, keep popping up. I don't know if Savannah will want this. I don't know if Savannah will be okay with this. I'm thinking like, why people keep harping on this Savannah angle? I've never heard another player, person, spouse, whatever, being mentioned this much. And I remember my issue with at going down that road with that rant wasn't about too much if it was factual or whatever the case may be. It's the fact you said it. If I know my man's got a whole woman at the house, but he out here doing this thing, I'm not saying shit. I ain't saying nothing. Ain't my business. It's something we don't do as men. That snitching and dirty macking and all that extra stuff y'all be, that is weird activity, bro. Weird activity. But I went back to this because I'm like, why her name keep coming up so much? And then you keep hearing people saying, I don't know if Savannah will be okay with uprooting this. For one, it tell me LeBron did something. If everybody in the world thinks this level of concern about him being away from home and family while he at work, because that's work. We call it basketball, they call it a job. That's work. If she has that level of concern, that man did something. Ain't no two ways about it. Because if she wasn't worried about it, she wouldn't care. The checks gonna keep coming. They gonna still get to live their nice little life, sunny LA, all that, this, that, and the third. The fact that her name keep coming up about this man's next location as an NBA player is crazy. Because you ain't never heard that with nobody else. When Shaq got moved around, did you hear? I don't know if Shaq's wife would want him to be in Miami or in. No. Nope. A lot of these players got spouses. You don't never hear them brought up come contract time. But why LeBron James' spouse, Savannah, keep popping up? It's crazy. I don't understand it. And it led me back to that same clip. Something had to have happened to where she like, you can't be out my sight too long. Nobody. I know that feeling. Look, I'm just saying, I ain't gonna say too much, but look, he can't go nowhere. So if she playing a part, let's think about it. Think about it. Now, here's another part. ESPN ain't gonna talk about it. Mostly, I don't think really too many people talk about it because it's music related. Us music people talk about it. This man went to the pop-out. I don't know how many clips that went up of him banging GNX. He clearly picked a side. I think he picked a side more on the merit of he was in LA. He was trying to get acceptance from LA, and Kendrick Lamar is LA. So 1 + 1 obviously equal 2. But it's a lot of Drake love over there. It's a lot of OVO. He go over there. He gonna upset not only the California fans that he been marching to get their love for, get love from him for years. He gonna upset Cavalier fans too. Here's why. On the Cavalier side, and I'm gonna end on this. On the Cavalier side, the Warriors in that couple of year window where the Cavs was championship or bust. About, we'll say, what, 3 years? 3-year window? 3 or 4, 3-year window, we'll say 3, of championship bust. The height, the pinnacle of Cavaliers basketball. The number one enemy was the Golden State Warriors. Like that battle between the Lakers and the Celtics, that was our Lakers Celtics for us as Cavs fans, going at it with the Warriors. 3 consecutive years. It's us or y'all. What's up? We know how this story about to end. We didn't even really have a season for them 3 years. Just roll the ball out, say it's the finals. It was that you gonna go and partner with them, regardless if it's not the same team. The main characters are still there. Even though Clay ain't there, Draymond's still there. Steph's still there. Kerr's still there. He's still coaching. Enough said. Enough said. He go over there. If you want to burn a bridge where you are actually loved, because ain't nobody gonna love you like Cleveland gonna love you. Cleveland's own. You can spin me again with that accurate shit. Cleveland's very own, LeBron James. And then you chose to ride off into the sunset with the team that was our sworn enemy when we were at our pinnacle. You might see LeBron James jerseys get burned again. And the Warriors, so you're going to leave LA to just go to another team in California. Boy, I hope you keep that same energy and keep banging. Kendrick, if you get to doing OVO videos and that can go bad on both sides. That can go bad on both sides. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Where LeBron going? I think he going home. It's the perfect story for him. He's needed enough, but he doesn't have to be the main guy. There's more to win with in Cleveland than there is with the Warriors. There's still good young pieces in Cleveland, so the team can't completely age out. Whereas with the Warriors, once it's done, it's cooked. It is done. Evan Mobley, at the very minimum, once this run is said and done, the very minimum, Evan Mobley can be the number 2 on a team. Okay, go find your number 1. Or you might be a team with a couple of number 2s. You don't have a number 1, but your number 2s actually play both ends of the court, so forth, so on. There's a path to keep things going. It doesn't really matter LeBron. Once the run is over, he's out of here. So, y'all let me know what you think. I'm Oops the Great. This is Kush Equilibrium. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I spared y'all that. I didn't even say it throughout the video. I'm saying it now because, I gotta say it. But the next time is the next time.
Count that fucking money, man. Count the money. You gonna get yours, B. You gonna get yours, man.